Diary of Dark One's Son is a look into the thoughts, opinions, and experiences of a young black man who is wrestling with the tough task of trying to make something out of himself in a very racist and hateful environment. It covers in detail the thoughts of a man as he observes and eventually learns how to cope and deal with the world around him. It is a story of a man who, while beset with many obstacles, learns how to overcome them in order to accomplish his goals and aspirations. This book is not for the faint of heart, and the opinions that are shared in this book can be deemed very offensive to some readers. If you think that you will be offended by the opinions shared in this book, the answer is simple. This is not the book for you. This book is merely the opinions of one man, and it should be taken as such. However, if you really wish to gain insight into the thoughts of a young black male in today's society, then look no further. Read this book. Excerpt from the book. From the chapter, Am I Visible or What? One day when I was walking home from school, I came across this other brother who was walking my way. In his eyes, I could see the sadness, the same sadness that was in mine. I knew exactly what was going through his mind too. He was feeling like an absolute nobody. How did I know, you ask? Because I was feeling the same way at the moment right when I walked past him. Have you ever felt, if you are a black man reading this, that you were invisible to the world? Not because you want to be, but because people refuse to acknowledge your presence. Read more when you purchase this book. This book can be purchased from lulu.com.
What's up, African Diaspora? It's your favorite attorney, Allie Booker, and I'm here ordering the court. Now, you guys know that all you have to do is submit your questions to me via email, booker@bookerlawfirm.com. You're even welcome to call my law firm, 713-292-2225, with your questions. Leave them on the voicemail. And your question, guys, very well may end up on this show. Without further ado, let's go through the questions that have been asked. I have a new legal question for you, attorney. This question hails out of Texas. However, guys, I'm going to make sure that I transpose this response for people across the nation, because I know that we have people across the nation watching this African Diaspora Network. This is what the person wrote to me. My ex was granted temporary custody with me as joint conservative during the beginning of 2020. We've been going to court since 2018. Order in the court. Y'all, don't be in litigation for 2 and 3 years behind no kids. By the time you're done, they'll be grown. Let me finish reading. I originally had custody. He sued for parent-child relationship. He claimed so much was not true. He claimed so much that was not true. He never showed for any of his visits. Yet somehow I had to prove that I didn't withhold the child. She was 11. Now she's 15 and a half. I told you. Order. I told you. He just moved out of the jurisdiction of the papers. What do? I ran through 2 attorneys, yet we never went to mediation. Order. Guys, let me tell you something. If you've been through 2 attorneys and no mediation and the case has been going on since 2018 and 2021, you might be a difficult client. Now, guys, let me talk to you about this. One thing I want to let you guys know is sometimes, you know, you have a difficult person that you're dealing with. The ex-wife, the ex-husband, the father of your child, the mother of your child is a difficult individual. Let me explain something to you. Attorneys don't sign up for that. We don't sign up for that. So if the other person is difficult, okay, and then you become difficult, you might be going through 2 attorneys and have not been through mediation yet. Order. And I think that's what's happened in this particular case. This person is frustrated because they have to deal with somebody who's kind of crazy. Okay, but then the attorney is frustrated with the client because they act crazy, and then the attorney has to deal with the person on the other side being crazy. When you know that you are dealing with somebody who has lost a few marbles or is not in control of themselves, don't go get another attorney, or don't go get an attorney and then don't do what the attorney says. Don't ask a bunch of questions about why are they doing this. I can't do. Don't be emotional, because we're dealing with enough emotion from the other side. So it seems like this person is a little bit emotional because they're already writing to me telling me that they don't understand why they have to defend themselves when the other person didn't come to the child. Blah, blah, blah. So that's what you told your attorney. And at the end of the day, you have to defend yourself because you what? Order in the court. because you must. Okay? And at the end of the day, we did not lay down with these people and make these babies. Y'all did. So don't come to us and be frustrated with us when you're hit and met with litigation. We're only here trying to help you. Don't do that to us. Okay? So that's what's going on here. This woman is upset. I understand she's dealing with a crazy man. And she is dealing with a crazy man. She is. But at the end of the day, that's not the attorney's fault. So they're getting off the case because they don't want to deal with the mess because the lady is pissed off because she's being sued and she's got to be drugged through all this stuff. And then she's not trying to, but she's got to be taking it out on her attorney. I know because I've been through this plenty of times. Now I'm going to go ahead and address her question because I just want to let you guys know that you will be through to attorneys with no mediation if you don't calm down. It's not our fault you to pick them people, okay? Be as nice as you can to your attorney because they're already dealing with the person from the other side. That is crazy. Now, ma'am, if he moved out of the jurisdiction of the papers, he moved out of the jurisdiction of the papers. He can move wherever he wants to move. But let me tell you what that does for you. If you have a geographical restriction in your particular case where you are not supposed to leave outside of a certain county and that person has removed themselves outside of the confines of the geographical restriction, guess what that means? Ma'am, you can move wherever you want to and you don't have to worry about staying within Harris and contiguous counties or within Montgomery and contiguous counties or within whatever county and contiguous counties. That geographical restriction no longer applies to you. That is the only thing that matters when a person that is not the primary parent moves outside of the court's jurisdiction. Other than that, you are expected to serve that person, get what we call long-arm jurisdiction against that person, and hail them into court if you have an issue with that person. So I understand you're upset that he's moved, but at the end of the day, you can move too. You asked me, what do you do? Ma'am, I don't know what you're asking me about because you just said that you've been through 2 attorneys. You never went to mediation. The girl is 15 and a half. Let me explain something to you about 15 and a half year olds, okay? They're old enough to speak for themselves, ma'am. So at this point, I would not really care what goes on. I wouldn't do anything in my case. I would wait for him to advance upon the case and defend myself. I would not present an offensive front because it doesn't make sense. The child is 15 and a half. I'm sure she hasn't seen him in a while. You said he done moved around. He obviously is crazy. The 15 and a half year old knows it. Don't talk to the 15-year-old and a half about litigation. But if push comes to shove, go ahead and file what we call a motion to confer. Guys, children are allowed to confer with the court about whether or not they want visitation with a certain parent or whether or not they want to live with a certain parent or whether or not a specific incident happened and how it happened with respect to their parent when they hit the age of 12. If any side, either parent, it doesn't matter who, if CPS steps in with an attorney and files what we call a motion to confer and that child is 12 years old in Texas, that motion is granted. That child is talking to the judge. You very well may not know what that child has told the judge. You very well may not be able to be in the room when that child is being questioned. You very well may not be able to receive a record of what was said with that child or children. But the court can, shall, and will discuss whatever they want with that child at the age of 12. A lot of you guys have issues with your baby's mothers, okay? You have issues with your baby's fathers, and the children are old enough to speak for themselves. File a motion to confer. Let the child talk to the judge, and the child is going to let that judge know exactly what's going on. Now, that very well may or may not assist you in your case. If you are riding the petty bus and you are the parent that is making up the mess, you're going to have a problem because that child going to tell on you, and that's just it. They're going to tell. Very rarely have I ever seen a child not tell the judge the truth. Okay? Because the child knows that you will not find out, you will not know, and the judge is not going to tell you more than likely. So they're going to tell exactly what's going on. So, ma'am, I would just tell you, go ahead and play the defense. If he files anything offensively, file a motion to confer with the court. Allow your 15 and a half year old child to speak for herself with respect to what happens when she's at the daddy's house, because she may not care. He might be crazy with you, but he doesn't bother her, and she might want to see him. If that's the case, she'll tell the court that too. And ma'am, then you move on with your life. You move on. Order in the court, you move on. Okay? Because you seem like a little caught up on this. I wouldn't be caught up on a 15-year-old child and having a relationship with his or her father. Because at that rate, let them choose for themselves. If there's a court order, abide by the court order. But if the man is out of town, the man is gone. Okay, you're on a 100 a mile or over custody order, and you only have to deal with the man once a month, if that. If he doesn't come and get the child, it doesn't matter as long as he's paying the child support. It probably matters morally, but you shouldn't care. Okay, so guys, that's all we have time for today. If you guys have any questions for me, make sure you email me, booker@bookerlawfirm.com. Add me on Instagram, she_ya_lawyer. Add me on Facebook, Allie Booker. I'm here to help. Submit your question to me, 713-292-2225. And I will be more than happy to address them here on the African Diaspora Network. Thank you. You'll have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.
250 years of slavery, 100 years of Jim Crow, sharecropping, the Ku Klux Klan, lynchings, bombings, mass incarceration, the separation and destruction of the black family. All of that has had an effect on our mind. Our mind needs to be decolonized. We today are experiencing mental slavery, not physical slavery as once our ancestors had to endure. In my book, 7 Steps to Decolonize the Mind, we take you through every step to start releasing the chains that's on your mind. He or she who controls the mind control the person. It is in a vested interest of the white supremacist system to keep your mind bogged down in a mental slavery, throwing entertainment, throwing drugs, throwing alcohol, anything they can at you to keep you bogged down. You got to free yourself from mental slavery by purchasing our book, 7 Steps to Decolonize the Mind, today on Amazon. Make sure you share it with your family, share it with your friends. Everyone can benefit from decolonizing the mind, because once your mind is decolonized, you will never be put to sleep again.
Hello, everyone. Please make sure you subscribe to the African Diaspora News Channel app on these platforms.